Oh yeah, sky's the limit. So like it's the only steam train that I think I'll ever watch, and the only one that I have been watching. Even though I think that goes hand in hand. Merry Thanksgiving, Miss Team Breaker. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, have a blessed Thanksgiving and all that good food and good friends and family and all that shit. As you can see, it's Thanksgiving and I am alone, but don't feel bad for me. I don't. My family doesn't live around here, and it's awkward when I get invited to go to someone else's house and be their guest and shit. And if I don't know if you can see my breath, it's super fucking cold. It's super cold. I'm actually in my car waiting for it to warm up. But I wanted to talk about flame-kissed armor. Now, I'm going to try really hard to not be that guy who says, I fucking told you so. But we've had a problem with armor in Guild Wars 2 for a long time. There hasn't been a full suit of armor that you can earn outside of the default dungeons at launch of the game. Ever. Never has there been. All the armor comes from the gem store. Now, my fundamental problem with the gem store is that when I'm buying armor, I'm not earning anything. I mean, I'm buying it because I want to look different, because my character looking the same all the time is kind of boring and dumb. But I just like to earn it, because at least there'd be a memory attached to me going and earning it in some dungeon, some anything in the game, really. You could even do it through Living World. They've had plenty of opportunities to do this shit through Living World, but they don't want to do it. So, in the case of the flame-kissed armor skin, now, for you guys that watch my vlogs, which, by the way, thank you. I'm thankful for those of you who watch these little Rinka Dink videos that I put up, because not that many of you do watch, but those of you who do, I love you. And I assume that some of you who watch this channel don't play Guild Wars 2. So Flame-Kissed Armor is a set of armor that you can buy in the gem store. It's light armor, so it's only for light armor classes. But it uses the same model as Tier 3 human cultural armor. And that's got a lot of people kind of up in arms. And from my perspective, I'm kind of like split right down the middle, which is pretty rare for me. I'm usually one opinion or another opinion about some shit. But I think that other races wearing other races' cultural gear is kind of a neat concept. I would totally get behind it. In the case of in this case, you've got like Norn and Char and Asura, and they're all wearing human-like cultural armor. Again, you buy it in the gem store, so I'm not really a fan of that. But I would like the feature of allowing other races to get other races' cultural gear to be put in the game in more of a prestige way, like you earn it via doing World versus World or PvE. Like you have the split option, you can do World versus World or PvE, like they do in Guild Wars 2. You can get armor and stuff in both facets of the game. But or in all three facets, WW, Structured PvP, and PvE. So, even put it in as a meta achievement, like a whole suit of gear from a culture of your choice or something. When you complete a bunch of meta achievements for something that's difficult to do, like a brand new fractal dungeon, which we haven't gotten we only got a new fractal dungeon we did get, but it's a Thermonova reactor and it's story mode, so one new dungeon in the fractals within 12 months is kind of dumb. It's like kind of like lame and boring, and we've been waiting a long time for there to be anything good in the game. So, dungeon-wise. But I don't dislike the idea. Like, for example, I play Norn. And I would love to wear the Asura heavy cultural armor. I think that'd be really cool looking on a Norn. And vice versa, if I had an Asura, I would like to see what they look like in the Norn heavy cultural armor. But people are pissed because it's part of the decision-making process of what kind of character we're going to make. Like, for example, I have a Guardian. My Guardian is an Asura. I premeditatively chose Asura because I wanted to wear their cultural gear. So that speaks to a significant investment when a player chooses to do this. And that's why people are a little upset. Again, I am really split down the middle on this. I would like to see us be able to earn other cultures' armor, like I said, but earn is the key word there. but I really do know I know how these people feel. I'm compassionate with how these people feel. I can put myself in their shoes. So it's kind of a thing. The thing that pisses me off, because I'm not exactly mad about this, like I said, I'm down the middle. What pisses me off is that the community finally got a fucking response from someone who works at ArenaNet or works with ArenaNet. They got a red post response on the forums about this, about the cultural armor and how it's not exclusive to humans anymore because of this. And the red post basically says, oh, we didn't notice that it looked so similar until it went into the game and you told us in your feedback. We didn't notice until then. It wasn't intended that we use a cultural model and light it on fire and try to get some cheap money out of it for $10. We used the mesh, and it wasn't intended to look similar. Next time we'll make the same gear, because they're gonna take Flamekist out of the gem store and put it back in, but it's gonna look totally different, allegedly. The problem is they're claiming that it doesn't look similar, but it doesn't look exactly the same, but it looks similar. They're willing to admit that. The problem is, it's the exact same gear. Literally, the fucking exact same. And they're trying to play it off like you don't know what the word mesh might mean. They're just going to throw out a word. And the other problem I have with this response is it's not a member of ArenaNet who makes models. It's not a member of ArenaNet who works on the textures or on the armor sculpting or anything like that. It's a fucking North American community manager. So it's basically just a forum puppet who replies to things on the forums, and they're just told what to say. Because remember, because of what Josh Foreman did with Super Adventure Box World 2, we learned that if you're an ArenaNet employee, you're not allowed to post on the forums until you pass a test. You have to pass a little class that teaches you how to say and what to say. So they're not even being transparent with us. They can't just come out and say, you're right, this was a mistake, we should have known better, we didn't really know what you guys were going to think. Now that we know that you dislike it, we will remove it and remake it and introduce it back into the gem store and give it back to everybody for free who purchased it, which all of that they're doing. But I'm just saying, if they were to just be honest and open and transparent with us, instead of making us look like a bunch of idiots who, like we're just too stupid to understand game design. It's just too fucking hard. That's the part that upsets me. It is exactly the same gear. But also, and I hate to bring this up, and I hate to say it. I mean, I don't hate to say it. I love to say it. I'm going to love saying this. Every single fucking issue with every patch that ArenaNet puts out, there's not these issues are not always big deals because the game is not very big. They're little small errors of incompetence that just keep stacking up and stacking up and stacking up with every patch. And eventually, aka now, the forums and the subreddit are all mirroring pretty much my way of thinking when it comes to this game. Like lighting your gear on fire and putting it in the gem store, kind of lazy. Not a lot of people are going to defend that. But back in May, when I talked about the Guild Wars 2 is overdue and how NCSoft is taking all the money away, they're taking majority of the profit and sprinkling it on all these other games, and ArenaNet is left with nothing because they don't have the money to make new models, hence why they just recycle this shit and put fire on it. Or why they won't unlock any maps because they don't have the money to develop it. Or why it took them fucking 1 year to make the Thermonovo reactor, which we all know is a fucking joke. The whole election thing was rigged. They were already working on it. I was right, and I've been right on a lot of things that people don't like. People just need to learn and man the fuck up and stop being pussies about this shit. And at least just be honest with yourself, Stop. I know there's a lot of people who, they give a lot of discrepancy. They swing a bit when it comes to Guild Wars 2 and like whether it's, doing what they said they were going to do or they're not with their manifesto and their yearly fucking their bi-yearly updates of like, we're going to do this, and then it never happens. The people I really don't like are, because those people are fine. The people I really don't like are the sugar's so sweet, butter wouldn't melt in their mouth. ArenaNet can't do no wrong. Those motherfuckers are the people I hate, because they're the ones that are actually making the game terrible. People who do world versus world and don't ask for a better progression system. They don't ask for personal player prestige. They don't ask for these things because they don't want to put a burden on ArenaNet. Whereas it's the norm to do that. I'll leave you with this. This is in a nutshell the reason why the game is failing. In my opinion, when it comes to prestige and your character and your relationship to the end game. It's fundamentally wrong to have your end game be called living story or living world and have the characters that we play in the game never change. There's nothing that you've made that makes me look like I'm partaking in a living, persistent world. Because I'm still wearing the same gear that I made when the game launched. The only chance I get to get new gear is when you put it in the gem store and I buy it. And when I buy it, I don't make memories. This game is not buy to play, remember. This game is word of mouth to play. You need word of mouth. If you're incompetent and you can't figure it out, ArenaNet, you can hire me. I'll help you out for free. Only got 3 words for you. It's overdue. Get crit. The get crit weren't the part of the 3 words. Okay, goodbye. Happy Thanksgiving.